Avila. I'm with JD Realty Advisors. I'm the real estate broker. And the purpose of this video recording is because tomorrow is August the 17th. And if you've been paying attention to the news media, or if you're in the real estate market, then you've probably seen something that's going to occur tomorrow, which is that more than likely a buyer will have to sign a buyer's representation agreement simply to see a property. The reason why this is because there's going to be new commission changes that are now the law. And so basically it states that when you're working with a buyer's agent and you're viewing houses, potentially you would be responsible to pay your buyer's agent. Now in the past, we really haven't had to worry about this because more than likely, the seller always used to pay the buyer's agent. So they would pay about 6%, for example, and 3% would go towards the buyer's agent. So now the seller has the option to not pay that commission. And if that's the case, then the buyer will be responsible to pay the agent. But the reason why I wanted to make this video is not to scare people, because simply what this means is that more than likely most sellers will continue paying the commission. But in the event that the seller does not, then you, the buyer, are responsible to pay the commission. Now, statistics show that most buyers struggle to come up with the down payment and closing costs. So if you're in that same situation, then the law does allow you to roll in the commission into the closing costs, and a seller can still pay closing costs towards the buyer. So simply you could roll in the commission into the closing cost. That's how you can get around that. What I did wanted to recommend, if you're in the market shopping for a property, you'll want to start to interview the buyer agent. In the past, sellers would interview listing agents. Well, now it's going to be very important that the buyer interviews buyer's agents. The way I want to explain that is in this case scenario. On one of the properties that I sold, properties are averaging at a sales price of sold price at $276. So back to this picture. For my buyer, I was able to discount $9,000 right off the asking price. Then when we inspected the property, I was able to negotiate my buyer another $15,000 off the then negotiated price. So my buyer was able to save a total of $41,000 when you compare to the sold average price of $276. The reason why you want to interview a buyer's agent is because a good buyer's agent is going to negotiate for you. They're going to bring a big value to you as a buyer. Statistics show that sellers that sold their property unrepresented lost an average of 40% less than the sellers that sold with an agent. So just imagine if you're unrepresented as a buyer, or you hired a not so good buyer's agent, think about how much money you'll be leaving on the table or potentially overpaying. So this video was simply made to educate you on some of the new changes. Please get in touch with me if you have any more questions, or if you want to schedule a free consultation. I'm always available. Thank you and have a great day.